Okay. So introducing biology is the first chapter that you have. Okay. So we will discuss the different branches and how exactly biology started and all. Okay. So before that, let me introduce myself. Let me just check if I'm live. Okay, yes, I'm live. All right. Okay, so before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. Just a second. Okay, so there was some network issue. All right. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. Okay. And Telegram channel Unacademy ICSE and ISC both. So this link you will find in the description box. Okay. So click on the link and join the Telegram channel there. Alright. So special classes you can learn from your favorite educator for free. So this is we are conducting the special classes or free classes on Unacademy platform. So you can also engage with the educator via polls. We will be conducting a quiz there. Okay. So you can also clear your doubts in the live special class. Okay. So for the top special classes, visit the link in the description. Okay. So Unacademy subscription features, you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Okay. Then unlimited access to all the courses will be there. Top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Regular doubt clearing session. So after about every 3 session, the 4th session will be your doubt clearing session. So any doubts you have related to the topics that are previously cleared, okay, covered, so you can clear your doubts in this session. Okay. So then complete syllabus will be covered. Mentorship and guidance is given. All right. Study material is given in the form of PDF. Practice test is given. Live test series, batch courses. So depending on your preference, you can either go for Hindi batch, English batch, or an English batch. So this is completely depending on your comfort, like those who like which subject you, which language you prefer to learn in. So that particular batch you can go, because you will have access to all the batches. Okay. So then there is daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, as well as daily MCQ and subjective test series will also be there. Okay. So now if you are planning to take the subscription, so this one you can see here. Okay. So for class 9, so you can try with 6 months of subscription. Okay. So there is an offer going on that I'll say about. So now those who are most of you are in the beginning of class 9 itself, so I suggest you all to go for 12 months of subscription. As you are going for higher months of subscription, the cost is also getting reduced. All right. So cost is also getting reduced, and for 12 months it is basically 15k. It will be 15k, and somewhere once you apply the code VANIYT, so that there will be 10% discount that you can find. Okay. So then Unacademy, so this is basically the Unacademy has come up with a new offer. So that is a new academic year offer for ICSE class 9 and 10. Okay. So let's say you are taking a subscription for 12 months, so you will be getting an extension of 2 months, that is for the monthly extension, and this is a creative corner. So 3 months extension you are getting for a after your completion is done. Now 18 months if you are getting, so 3 months extension. So basically you, let's say you are taking 18 months of subscription, so 3 months is gonna be free. Okay. So that means you will be getting 21 months of subscription. All right. And with that you are having again 3 months of creative corner. So creative corner is basically, it will enhance your hobbies like music and craft. Then there is art also, then any workshop on programming, any computer programming, or it can be based on, let's say, astronomy, astrophysics. So any of the workshops that you can attend which are conducted by the educator. Okay, so now this is April 18th to April 20th. So this is the offer period. Okay, so today is 19th, so tomorrow is the last day. So if you are planning to take the subscription, you can do it today and tomorrow, and you can use the code Vani YT. So this is my code. So with this code you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription with all this offer that you have. Okay, so let's see what is introducing biology. Okay, so what is, let's see, introduction to biology. Okay, so what all different branches are there, we will have a look at. Just a second. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So now when we mention about the biology, okay, so what exactly is biology? So as the name itself suggests, okay, so bio meaning is that a study. Okay, so basically biology is study of life. So bio meaning is that it is a life. Okay, so what you are going to study, you will be studying a life there. Okay, so logy is study. Okay, so logy meaning here is study. So study of life is biology. So this is the science that studies the life. Okay, then biologist, who is biologist? The person who studies biology. Okay, so now when we mention a biologist, so the person who is studying biology, let's say, so this particular individual, let's say scientist might be there, or in general person who's studying, all the different plants, animals in detail. Okay, so that is most of the time it is done by the scientist itself. So in that case, they'll be studying the structural arrangement in case of plant, the sorry, structural arrangement in case of animals, how exactly, this particular bacteria can survive, or a protista can survive, all the monarans can survive. So biologist is basically the person who is studying the life. Okay, so he is called as the biologist. Okay, so now Aristotle is the person who started studying biology in the long back time. Okay, so that is about 384 before Christ to 322 before Christ. So in that case, he contributed most extensively to the development of biology. So we could see the development in biology, so that is by his contribution. Okay, so his work focused on the history of animals. So he was mainly working on animals, the biological causation. So what exactly is biological causation? Any idea? Yes, any of you? So biological causation, so his work was focused on history of animals, like, what exactly gave rise to a which one. So now we all say that monkey to man. So now how exactly this animal existed, how exactly there is a particular animal. So it can be insect, or maybe it is a bigger animal. So how exactly this, what is the history, how this animal became this animal. So it is, he focused on history of animals, not the evolution. He was just studying about how these animals, like, what is the background, what is the history. Okay, so then biological causation and the diversity of life. So now for history of animals, or any agent, so let's say there might be certain changes that are occurring. So what is the cause, what is the biological cause for this history? Like, now history is there and we have a new type, so there is a modern era. So during those time period when he was there, so that was a modern one, and just before that, so that is a history. So he was studying about what is the biological reason for all these changes to occur, and the diversity of life. So what is that diversity of life? So you can find, the plants, you can find, then extremophiles you can find. What is extremophile? any of you. So you can find extremophiles also. That means so there are certain bacteria, okay, so extremophile is basically there are certain bacteria or any living organisms in general which are resistant, okay. So these particular bacteria or anything, so these are resistant to, let's say there is a salty condition, or maybe there is a acidic condition, okay. So or there might be high temperature condition. So any of these cases, all right, so resistant to any of these are considered as an extremophile. That means they can survive even in the extreme condition, okay. So now he is called the founder or father of biology. So why is he called the father of biology? Because he is the one who initiated, the studying the life form, okay, or studying any living organism. That is why he is called as the father of biology, okay. So moving on to next one. Okay, just a second. So there is Theophrasis also. So Theophrasis in the year 370 to 285 BC. Okay. So student. So he is a student of Aristotle. Okay. So wrote a botanical text on the structure, life cycle and uses of the plant. Okay. So he was mainly, he was concentrating on the text on the structure, okay. So botanical text that you can find on structure, life cycle and uses of plant. That means he was mainly studying the plant, okay. So he was concentrating on plant, and he was looking at the life cycles, how exactly the birth occurs, okay, how exactly the death occurs, okay. So that he was looking at the structure, like structural arrangement. So that is, how exactly these cells are arranged, how exactly tissues are arranged. So what exactly might be the arrangement which is supplying water and food to the different parts of a plant body. So all that was considered by a Theophrasis. So he is called the father of botany, okay. So he is called the father of botany, all right. So next is Hippocrates. So Hippocrates is rationalize the science of healing and treating the sick, okay. So what he did, so basically he was extracting things, that is he was extracting juices, or maybe we can say, by using a plant. So he started healing people and treating the sick, okay. So rationalize the science of healing and treating the sick. So now, based on that, he is called as the father of medicine, okay. So that means he is the person who initiated giving, using the plant extracts for, or maybe, certain extracts which he obtained, and he started applying them on general people or general public. So he is called as the father of medicine. Just a second. Alright. So now, biology had flourished a great deal in ancient India. So what exactly had happened in the in ancient India, okay. So different people, like previously they had no idea, like how we can classify animals and plants. So based on just the observable characters, so they started classifying them, okay. So now, there is a viviparous animals, okay. So what exactly is viviparous? So you can see this one is now a viviparous, okay, and this one is oviparous. Yes, what is the meaning? Anybody? What exactly is viviparous or oviparous? Any idea? So by looking at the picture also you can understand that. Okay. Anyway, so viviparous is basically the animals who give birth to their young ones. So this is an animal now which is giving birth to a young one directly. Okay. CBSE में अब term 1 नहीं होगा class 10th का. Okay, so yes, this is there. So they will depending on COVID guidelines again, so they are going to change. So depending on how exactly this corona is going to affect everyone, so based on the certain rules and guidelines are going to change. So they can either keep term 1, term 2, or this can be complete year also. So this is going to be so this is going to vary. Yes. So is it true? So about CBSE, I think they have already informed. Yes, right? Yes. So it is yes. So Kashyap Astro is saying yes. Okay. All right. So here, Viviparous is basically the one which is giving birth to a young one, and Oviparous when we mention. So it is 1 second. Yeah, so the one which give rise to, or the one which is laying the egg. Okay, so that is the oviparous, the animals who lay egg. Okay, so cultivation. So how exactly classification was done? Classification was done based on just the external features. Okay, so they used to observe the external features. So there, that time there was no well advanced technology to look into the tissues or to look into the cells, and based on whether it is a prokaryotic or eukaryotic. So there was not such a technology to classify them based on anatomy. So they just used to observe them, that is morphology, that is the external morphology, and based on that people, I mean in general the public used to classify these animals. Now cultivation of rice was first introduced in India. So it is estimated that more than 1,000 varieties of rice has been developed. Okay, so in that case you can see different varieties of rice, right? So that is completely depending on how exactly they are growing. So now these days, so there is genetically modified organism which is still having ethical issues, but yes, so we can use certain techniques, so we are able to develop different varieties of rice. So that is completely based on the technology that we have now. Okay, earlier so this was not the case. So now there is an improvement which can be seen. So moving on to the discovery of cell. Okay, so who exactly or how exactly the discovery of cell occurred? Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so now based on the discovery of cell, so different different scientists or those who were working on living cells, the dead cells, they started working on different types of cells. So first it started with the dead cell. Okay, so now Robert Hooke in the year 1665, he observed the dead cell. Okay, that is from a cork slice. Whereas Antony van Leeuwenhoek in the year 1674, he took a pond water, okay, and observed the different organisms. So what are those organisms? So since pond water was there, so he was able to observe the differently moving cells. Okay, so he was able to observe amoeba, so the bacteria with the flagella. So he is the person who discovered free living cells in the pond water for the very first time. That means he observed the live cell or a living cell, but Robert Hooke observed the dead cell. Okay, then Robert Brown, what he did, so there is a nucleus, right? So this is a cell now, so there is a nucleus that we can find. So this particular nucleus which is there, so this was studied in detail. Okay, and he said that what exactly is the covering, so whether there is a single covering, double covering, so nuclear envelope, nuclear membrane what we call, then there are nuclear pore. So each and every detail about the nucleus in the very first time, like for the very first time, so was said by the Robert Brown. So discovered nucleus in a cell. Okay, then about the Purkinje. Okay, so Purkinje gave the term protoplasm. So what is protoplasm? So there is a cell membrane, then you can see a nucleus, then cytoplasm. So all of this together, so this is basically animal cell only, so all of this together can be called as a protoplasm. So why protoplasm? Because all of this is a living component of a cell. Okay, so whenever you find a living component of a cell, so this is basically a protoplasm. So what exactly is dead component then? So now in case of plant cell, so let's say this is a plant cell now, so there is a cell wall. Okay, so cell wall is there, and then you can find a cell membrane. So this is inside you can find a cell membrane, and this one, this part what you see, okay, that is outside cell wall, what is there? So that is dead component. Okay, so this dead component of the cell is not considered under the protoplasm. So protoplasm, when we mention, it is just a living component. Okay, so if we remove this particular cell wall from the plant cell, whatever is remaining, so that can be considered under the protoplasm. So that is from inside. Okay, so that means we need to remove remove in the sense exception of cell wall. So except the cell wall, whatever content is there, so that is all protoplasm. Okay, so that the term protoplasm was given by the Purkinje in the year 1839. Then 1838 and 1839, you will study about this one in detail. Okay, that is the next chapter. So Schleiden and Schwann gave the cell theory. So they said that all the living organisms are made up of a cell. Okay, so be it a plant or be it an animal, so they are all made up of cell. So that was said by them. And also Schwann said that, so there is one more extra covering that is there in a plant cell, and that is cell wall. Okay, so animal cells are anyway, as usual, animal plant cells are having cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, that is protoplasm is there. But in case of plant cells, so there is one more extra covering that is present. So that was said by the Schwann. Okay, so even though he was a zoologist, so he just took the plant cell and he observed, that means he compared the plant cell and the animal cell. So based on that, he said, so there is a extra covering, that is cell wall. Now later on, these two scientists, so they failed to explain like what exactly might be the reason for the formation of new cells. So they did not explain that. Then in the year 1855, Rudolf Virchow, okay, so Rudolf Virchow was a scientist who modified the cell theory. So this is basically cell theory. So they modified the cell theory, and cell theory suggests that all the cells are living. All the cells which are there. So it can be plant cell or animal cell. All the living organisms basically. Okay, so all the living organisms are made up of cells. Okay, and Rudolf Virchow modified it by adding all the cells are arising from arising from pre-existing cells. Okay, that means he explained the formation of new cell. Okay, so whereas Schwann and Schleiden did not explain that, so formation of new cells was explained by Rudolf Virchow. Okay, so that is all the cells arise from the pre-existing cell. So let's have a look at the branches of biology now. Okay, so what are the different branches that we have in biology? So biology is divided into several branches. So there are many branches in biology. Okay, so now based on what we are going to study. So if we are studying a plant, okay, so in that case we call it as a botany. Okay, so if we are studying an animal, so in that case we call it as a zoology. Okay, so this is for a zoology. So now if we are studying a human, okay, so human again, this is with respect to human biology itself. But again, we are studying about the relationship of a human with the surrounding or, with other living organism. So in that case, this is basically, we are interrelating. So what exactly is the characteristic feature of other living organism and ourselves? Yes, Ankit, you can ask doubt. Yes, whatever doubts you have, you can ask. Okay. So now, the study of man and the human society. So now, this is how exactly human is interacting with other. Okay, so other human. Okay, so in that case, that comes under the anthropology. So anthropos is man, logy is study. So that comes under the human biology. So our zoology, study of animals, study of plants, botany. Okay. So let's have a look at in terms of special groups of organism. So what are those special groups of organism? So bacteriology. So you can have a look at this one. You can have a look at this one, which is bacteria, which is virus here. So you can just say the color. Any of you? Which one is bacteria and which one is virus? So by looking at this, you can understand. No idea? So you all have seen already COVID virus, right? So this is actually the virus, okay? So this is virus now, and this is a bacteria. Which type of bacteria? So this is a spherical bacteria, that is a coccus. Okay, so this is a coccus, cocci. All right. So cocci is plural, coccus is singular. Then bacilli, when we mention, so that is a plural. Bacillus is singular. Okay. So vibrium, vibrio. Then spirilla. Okay. So that is completely based on how they are arranged. So the name will be given. So this is coccus, bacillus and all singular, cocci, bacilli and all plural. Okay. So now based on that, when the study of a bacteria is done, so where exactly they live, how exactly they survive, what is the mode of nutrition they have, what is the reproduction they have. Okay. So then also we will be looking at how exactly are they respiring. All right. So then what is that cell is made up of, what is the cell wall is made up of. So we will be studying each and every detail of these bacteria, or whether they are living alone, like as a single unit, or whether they are forming a cluster, or maybe they are forming a chain. So that will be observed. Okay. So now virus, when we mention, so this is virology, that is study of viruses. So we will be studying the viruses. So what exactly might be the reason? Hi Sunil, new to Unacademy. Hi Ishwara. Okay. So hi Ishwara, good evening, welcome to Unacademy. Okay, so now there is virology. So virology is based on, you can see the structure. So all these years, so you have seen. Good evening, I'm fine, how are you? So is this class 10 Akshat? Okay. So now study of viruses. So in that case you will be studying the different viruses. Okay. So there is a virus which can cause particular disorder, like HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So different viruses, what are they? So like coronavirus is there. So all those different viruses, structural arrangement, what exactly is the surface protein on this particular virus which is making us fall sick, how exactly this is going to take over the mechanism. As soon now when we talk of a virus, when it is outside, okay, so you have studied 5 kingdom classification, right? Virus does not come under any of the kingdoms. So kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, Plantae or Animalia. So this is not coming under any of these classification, because this virus, when it is outside, okay, so outside the host body, so it will act as non-living, or it will behave as non-living. But as soon as it enters a host, okay, so as soon as it enters a host, so this will take over the mechanism, and it is living one. One second. So it will start acting as a living one. That means it will enter the host cell and it will multiply inside the host organism. So yes, you are class 10. Okay. So now all what could be the reason, how exactly this is happening. So each and every detail of a virus is studied under the virology. Then what is mycology? Mycology is basically a fungal study. So fungi study is done. So what exactly is arrangement? So you might have seen fungi, there is a hyphae. Okay, so there is a hyphae that they will be shown. Okay, so this is a hyphae. Then you can also see, so in certain cases, let's see this one. Okay, so there is a spore formation. All right, so you can see there is a sporangium. Inside that the spores are there. So this particular sporangium, what is then? So that will burst open. Okay, so this will burst open now, and all these spores which are contained, so they will be released into the surrounding area, and wherever this is falling, so this will again, so let's say this falls here, so it will start taking the nourishment and it will grow back to form a hyphae, mycelium, sporangium, spora, spores. So all these are being formed again. So you know how exactly. So now this is a sexual mode of reproduction. So there is a sexual mode of reproduction also that occurs. So now depending on a type of fungi, what is the structural arrangement? So now this one is a hypha. Okay, so there is a hypha. This whole thing is a hyphae. Okay, so then group of them, so let's say this is there is one more as such. Okay, so now whole of this thing is a mycelium. Okay, so mycelium we will be looking at. So how exactly arrangement is done, whether it is having a nucleus at each of these cells, because each one of them are cells there. Okay, so whether it is a nucleated one or whether it is multinucleated, and what exactly cell wall made up of. Cell wall is made up of chitin in case of fungi. So each and every detail of a fungi is a mycology. Entomology, so what is entomology? Yes sir, you can ask Ishwara. So whatever doubts you have, you can ask. All right, so now entomology, when we mention, so this is study of insects. Okay, so how exactly, there are joint footed animals which we call as the insects. So you remember in class 8. Okay, so class 8 you study about the kingdom Animalia. So you study different animals there, right? So joint footed animals are basically the insects or arthropoda, what we call. Okay, so this comes under the arthropoda. So different insects that you will be studying, like cockroach or maybe a spider, scorpion. So what is the arrangement, whether the leg is bent, whether the leg is hairy, whether there is an exoskeleton or an endoskeleton, what is the defense mechanism, are they going to bite or are they poisonous, what type of a poison is there, is it a dangerous one or not a dangerous one. So each and every detail of every insect is collected, and that information will be stored. So that is the study of entomos, that is insects. Okay, yes, so basically fishes, ichthyology. Okay, so study of fishes is ichthyology. So about in the classes, that is in animal kingdom, so fishes you study under Pisces. Okay, so this is a Pisces, so that you study. Okay, so pisciculture is for rearing, that is studying or culturing of fishes. So you create a artificial pond, or maybe you are providing, so let's say there is a pond, you are providing all the nourishment for the growth of fish. So that is a pisciculture. Okay, so here this is not culturing, this is not growing the fishes, this is actually studying the fishes. Okay, so culturing is basically growing. I want to grow a plant, so that is a horticulture. Okay, now I want to grow a fish, that is a pisciculture. But here I am not going to grow them, I am going to study them. Okay, so ichthyology, ichthys is basically fishes, logy is study again, so ichthyology is study of fishes. Okay, so whenever fishes are done, so is this clear? So is there a difference between? Yes, so pisciculture is you are creating a pond. Okay, so let's say where is the space? Okay, let's say I'll explain here. So let's say you are creating a pond. Okay, a suitable pond for the growth of the fishes. Okay, so for the growth of fishes you are making a pond, or maybe you are having a tank, so you are providing all the nutrients or nourishment for the growth of fishes. So that is pisciculture. Okay, So now you know what exactly is ichthyology. So ichthyology is basically you are going to study. So let's say this is a fish now, okay. So now in this fish, so there is a fin over here, then you know you see a mouth, then you can see these fins, okay. So in this case, what exactly is the function of this one, what exactly is the function of this one, what exactly is the function of gill, okay. So you know how exactly you know the scales are arranged over there, what is the function of this fin. So each and every study, okay, whether this fish is made up of bone or whether this fish is made up of cartilage, so each and every study about the fish is ichthyology, okay. So ichthyology is going to explain you about the fish structure, like how exactly, what exactly is the function of each and every part. The pisciculture is growing them. Is this clear, Ishwara? Okay. So now herpetology, when we mention, all right. So herpetology is study of lizards, snakes, etc. So you can see here. So this comes under the category of a lizard. Okay. So you know whenever they want to escape from a predator, so they are going to bulge up. Okay. So they are going to bulge up this one. So they'll create a aggressive look, that so that the one who is before him, so they are you know they are getting scared. So that means they are creating a aggressive look by making certain changes in their body, okay. So now herpetology is what is their way of defense mechanism, okay. So snakes or lizard, what is the way of defense mechanism that they have, so that they create the aggressive look, or you know what exactly they are made up of, and how, like you know what is the food that they take, or whether they are herbivores, you know whether they are carnivores. So each and every detail of this is studied, so that is a herpetology. Now ornithology, when we mention, so this is a study of birds. So we will be studying birds in detail here, like you know what exactly is the reason for this bird to fly high, okay. So some birds are actually aquatic in nature, so I'll just erase this part, okay. So some birds are actually aquatic birds, okay, and some birds can fly high, okay. So now based on that, all right, so based on that, so what is the arrangement of the body, what, how exactly you know body is natured for this to remain in the water always, and how exactly body is made for this particular bird to fly in the air always. So that is you know there is a body variation that we can find, and what exactly is that variation. So each and every detail for all that they are, whatever habitats they have, so based on a habitat, so different body organization will be done, so that will be studied under the ornithology, okay. Now in terms of approach on studying it, okay, so in that case, so there is anatomy is there, okay. So this is basically gross structure of an organism as seen in dissection. So let's say there is a heart, okay. So let's see, this one is now a heart. So there is auricle, there is ventricle, then there is you know auricle, and you can see a ventricle. So there is a pericardium covering, so this one is a pericardium, which is it, okay. So now this heart, now if I want to study this, you know I will be making a cut, so we'll be dissecting it, okay. So we are either dissecting it in this way depending on what we want to study, okay. So dissection is done, okay. So study of gross structure of an organism as seen in a dissection. So I cut it and then I observe it, so that is the anatomy, okay. Now morphology, when we mention, we are not cutting, okay. So you can see whatever arrangement is there, so study of form and structure of plants and animals. So how exactly the plants are able to you know survive this wind or you know hot temperature, so what is the arrangement, and you know how exactly these animals are made of, what exactly might be the content, okay. So now in that case, just the external feature, so just the external feature here is nothing but the hands are studied, the head, the leg, okay. So what are they helpful for, and you can see here the internal one, okay. So now this is external morphology. Internally, what is the structure of a stomach, what is the structure of an intestine, what is the structure of a liver, what is the structure of a lung. Okay, so internal organ study is also done without the dissection. Okay, so if it is done with the dissection, that is cutting, then in that case it is anatomy. Without the dissection, we are just studying the external part as well as the internal part. So in that case we can see that this is morphology. All right, is this clear? Any doubt? Any doubt till here? So there is one more here, histology. All right, so what exactly is histology? So this is study of minute structure of tiny bits of the body. So what are those tiny bits of a body? So you can see here tissues then. Okay, so this particular tissue, what you see now, so this is a cell. All right, so same way you can find this one here, you can find this particular structure. All right, so this is the one. Okay, so how exactly these are arranged, whether there is any intercellular space that is present, and what exactly arrangement, so whether they are polygonal in nature, whether they are spherical, whether they are rectangular, so all that will be studied. So study of minute structure of tiny bits of a body as seen with the help of a compound microscope, so this we call as a histology. Okay, so this is a histology. All right, any doubt till here? So who is father of botany? So let me just clear this part. Okay, so we studied only till there. Okay, so there is a lot more to study. Okay, so now who is father of botany? So father of botany is Hippocrates, Theophrasis, Aristotle, none. So you can type in your answer here. Just a second. Okay, so father of botany is Theophrasis. Okay, so father of biology is Aristotle, so this is for biology. Okay, and father of medicine is who? So father of medicine is Hippocrates. So father of botany is Theophrasis. Okay, so moving on to next one, study of animals. Study of animals is zoology. Okay, then herpetology is study of birds. Is herpetology a study of bird? So this is basically false. Okay, so this is false. Okay, so why? Because herpetology, when we mention, so it is study of snake. Okay, so snakes are studied under this, lizards are studied under this, so all that comes under the herpetology. Mycology is study of fungi. Yes, so it is true. Okay, so mycology is study of fungi, because let's say there is a bread. Okay, so let's say this is now a bread. Okay, and onto this bread, so you can see that, let's say there is the growth, so there is already a fungi that is growing. So this is now a hive. Okay, so which is having a structure as such. So there is a sporangium formation that we can see here with many spores. Okay, so this is hypha is there, so this is also uninucleated, so there can be nucleus can be there. Okay, so now this will burst open and spores are released. So as this spore falls onto bread again, okay, so now this spore is falling here and this one will start growing. So mycology is we will be studying the fungi in detail. Okay, alright, so before I end the session, so there is a batch, Guardians batch. So this is a all subject batch. Okay, for ICSE class 9 learners. So start date is the 6th of April. So here you have an option to watch the recordings that are available for those classes which are already done. So those classes which are yet to be done, so you can watch those classes. Okay, so introducing community, just a second. Have access to all of these batches. Then there is Eternals batch, so this is all subject batch. Okay, so start date is basically it is starting on 20th of April, that is tomorrow. Okay, so I will be starting tissue chapter here. So if you are planning to take the subscription, you can use my code VANIYT. Okay, so as the offer is going on right now, so you can use this code to get 10% discount on the subscription. Okay, so introducing community, so never miss on any update from your favorite educator. So get session notes and practice material. Share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. So check out the link to the educator community below. Bucks Bounty, so opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Then report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. Okay, so how you can watch my special classes? You can download the Unacademy Learner app, open the app and click on get started, enter your mobile number and sign up using your email ID. So then you can select the class 6 to 12, then select the category ICSE or ISE. So choose the language, that is preferred language which you want to learn in, so whether English, Hindi or English. So once you do that, go to the description of this video and click on the special class link, click on notify me and you will get notified 10 minutes before the class begins. You can also use my code, that is VANIYT, to unlock the free courses or free classes that are available on Unacademy platform. Okay, so this code you can use to unlock. Also this code you can use VANIYT to get 10% off on the subscription. Okay, so thank you all, see you all in the next session. So you can also follow on Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10 biology, so that's Telegram. Okay, so you can join my Telegram link. So click on bell icon to get notified about the classes. Subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy ICSE and ISE both. Like and share the video and download the Unacademy Learners app. So this PDF I can send it on my Telegram, that is Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10 biology. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, thank you so much.